Okay, hey guys. So I am doing the next section. This is going to start the unit on lines. And so the first, I want to say 4 or 5 are strictly geometry. They're brand new and they are uh, definitions, and you need to write down the definitions. So for this one right now, what you need to do when you get this identifying corresponding and alternate angles, you need to look these up, maybe, or look in the explanation if you need some extra help. I am definitely going to tell you right now, okay? And I want to try to relate the words that are in these definite, like the names of these angles, to their actual position so that you can remember them easier. But you are expected, oh, wow, I forgot to lock these down just a sec. Do that. Lock them all. Okay, you are expected to know these. These, and they ask them in every test, every SAT or ACT or any kind of math test you take. You will encounter these, whether, whatever. So here's the thing. Take a look. What first, let me give you the situation. Okay. If you have two lines, and in this case, they're not parallel. It doesn't say they're parallel. They're just two lines. This is line A and this is line B. Okay, and they're cut by a transversal. So a transversal, sorry, it's right there. Okay, it's right here, you guys. Oh, I don't see it actually written there. I'm sorry. So let me write it nicer because I don't want to write it ugly. I forget that this thing is not, it's when I record, it goes a little touchy. Okay, this is called the transversal. And again, remember, trans means to go across. Okay, so this is traversing, if you will. Okay, but it's crossing these two. Now look at what's formed. There's angles that are formed. And what you want to know are the names of the pair. What we do is we look at them in pairs. Okay, so for example, if I were looking for a linear pair, notice that has the word line in it. That means two angles that make up a line. Okay, so like angle 1, remember the angle is the opening. Okay, so angle 1 and angle 2, okay, these would be linear pair because angle 1 plus angle 2 equals 180. You can identify 180 because it's a straight line. So look right here. 1 and 2 are linear pairs. 2 and 4, linear pairs. 4 and 3, linear pairs. 1 and 3, linear pairs. Okay, so you get the idea. Okay, there's lots of linear pairs. But now you're going to learn that way. You already should have known that. Now you're going to learn the names for the angles inside here and outside here. So we're going to consider this inside. I hope you guys can kind of get a sense. And this is out, and this is out. Do you see, like if you're a little person, here you are, you're like, wee, and you're sliding down there. Okay. You are inside. Okay. And this is out. Notice because this one is contained. Okay. So when you're looking at alternate interior means on the inside, alternate means do, right? Like it alternates. Okay. So write this down. Alternate interior. You can also, for your notes, you could just copy down a graphic that you find on the internet. You just have to put this in. Put a name of one of these angles and all of them will come up. Alternate interior angles. Okay, let me tell you which ones are alternate interior. All right, see, because we got to be on the inside. So 4 and 5, angle 4 and angle 5, and angle 6 and angle 3. See, do you see how they're on alternate sides of the transversal? That's where the alternate comes in. It's like an alternate on opposite sides, kind of. Okay, alternate sides. So angle 3 and angle 6 are also alternate interior angles. Okay, then let's do alternate exterior angles. So alternate, again, that means on the other, like opposite sides of the transversal, alternate exterior, but now we're going to be on the exterior angles. Okay, so no, we're not in the inside anymore, we're on the outside. So this is alternate exterior. 2 and 7 are alternate exterior. And you might think, well, what do they have to do with each other? But if you think about it, they're kind of in like the opposite position, kind of like they were both kind of on the outside, on the opposite sides ish. I mean, so we have names for these guys. Also 1 and 8, angles 1 and angles 8 are also alternate exterior. See, transversal, they're on opposite sides. Okay. And then the last one is corresponding angles. Now for this topic, they're only asking you to name one. Okay. It's corresponding angles. Corresponding means kind of like in the same position. Okay. Corresponding means kind of like same-ish, if you will. Okay. So corresponding angles, let me go ahead and these are kind of like the ones that are in the same position. So in other words, angle 1, and let me do this with a different color, okay? Completely different color. Let's go with orange. Okay, so I'll do this. Orange is the corresponding angles, okay? So 1 is corresponding to 5. You see why? They're kind of in both the corresponding positions. They're both up on the left-hand side of where the transversal cuts the line. Okay, so angle 1 and angle 5. Angle 2 and angle 6 are corresponding. Okay, angle 4 and angle 8. I'm hoping you're figuring this out by now. And then you know that the last pair is going to be 3 and 7. Angle 3 and angle 7. So these are pairs that we talk about in geometry whenever there's two lines cut by a transversal. Okay, it makes angles that we decided to name because they become special later. Okay, anytime we name something in math, it's going to become special later. All right, so you're welcome to go look at the explanation when you do this and add on to these notes, okay? All right, so this one. This one says finding angle measures given two parallel lines cut by a transversal. Okay, so now the difference is now they give you parallel lines. The way you mark parallel lines is this. You do this little arrow. Now they just told you. So since they told you, they didn't bother to show you that this is the way you would mark parallel lines with a little arrow on it. Okay, they're cut by a transversal. It says suppose the measure of angle 4 is 54. You should be able to name every other angle on this page, okay? So use your common sense and your ability to see, okay? Because it's right there in front of you. Do not tell me that angle 2 and angle 4 add up to 180. They don't even look like they add up to 180. So don't just kind of like get into rote learning and be like, that must be it, 180 is it? No, they are vertical angles. So angle 2 and angle 4 are the same. So angle 2 is 54. Okay. Angle 1 and angle 4 add up to 180, or angle 1 and angle 2 add up to 180. So angle 1 is equal to 180. Ow! Oh my God, my cat, I swear to God, he just bit my toe or something. I don't know what. My toe hurts really bad. Okay. Sorry about that. Distraction. 126. 180 minus 54 is 126. Okay, so now we know 1, we know 2, we know 4, and guess what? You can figure out 3 because that's 126. All right, now what you don't know about parallel lines cut by a transversal, again, go to the notes on this section, go to the explanation by Alex, okay, because it'll be nice and neat. What you need to know is when you have, okay, if two parallel, that means parallel. Write the word parallel if you don't know that means parallel. Are cut by a transversal, then this is what happens, you guys. Corresponding angles are congruent. Okay, corresponding angles are congruent. So in other words, angle 1 and angle 5, because these guys are parallel, remember? So it makes sense, right, that they hit at the same angle. So angle 5 is 126. And now you can figure out everything else. 6 is 54, because these add up to 180, or they're corresponding. This is corresponding with that. If you guys just look at this, you can actually visually tell. Okay, but just so you know, corresponding angles are congruent. Let's see what else. Consecutive interior, you haven't learned that one yet. Consecutive interior angles add up to 180. Okay, so here's a couple of things that are definitely true whenever you have two parallel lines cut by a transversal. Okay, you haven't learned consecutive interior angles. Consecutive interior, remember, interior means inside. Here's my interior. This would be this angle and this angle. Notice I put different arcs. That means that they're different sizes, and I should have done that here. I could easily do it this way. That means these are congruent when the number of arcs match. Okay, I've seen it also where they put little hash marks in it, but these two are consecutive interior. Do you see why they add up to 180, you guys? If you cut this piece of pie right here, this angle, if you cut it out and you put it right here, look, this is a line. It adds up to 180, okay? So therefore this and this add up to 180. I don't care how you remember it, but you need to write it down and know that it's true, okay? So you're going to be given these problems. They're only going to give you one angle, and your job is to figure out all the other angles. Really, all you need to do is use your vision, okay? You can see that this is a smaller angle and it's going to be congruent to this smaller angle. You can tell that these are vertical angles. Trust your instincts, okay? All right, here's solving equations. So now knowing this, all right? Okay, you have a couple things. First of all, these are parallel lines. It says G is parallel. See how those two little parallel lines, that means the word parallel. They're parallel, see? So now you know, okay, a couple of things. We know that these two angles are consecutive interior. I just named those in the slide before, and we know that they equal 180 when you add them together. Okay, you can tell. You can tell because this is X, because these are corresponding angles. See how they're in the same position? All right. So you will get used to this, but for now, I really want you to kind of try to trust your vision and your logic and try to make sense of the picture so you understand it. Okay. So you can go like this: X plus 73 equals 180. So X has to be equal to 180 minus 73, which is 107 degrees. Okay, so X is 107. Now we know 107. Do you see what we did? We needed to find this one because now these two are congruent. So if they're congruent, they're equal. So we go 3z plus 40. Let me do this. 3z plus 41. This is congruent to that, okay? Plus 41 is equal to 107. Do you see why I did that? I don't need to put the degree. I don't know why I did that. Okay, so then you get 3z equals, and you subtract 41 from both sides. I don't want to do this in my head right now, so I am going to show my work. That becomes 6, and that becomes 6. 66. Okay, z is equal to, divide by 3. 3 goes into 6, 2 times 2. 22 degrees. Well, z is 22. Now, be careful. Did they ask you to find x or z, or did they ask you to find a name of an angle? It says find the values of x and z. If you notice, I didn't even actually look what they were looking for because I know that in these exercises, you're basically finding all the angles. I hope you guys realize that this is 73 because these are vertical. These are alternate interior. Oh, we didn't talk about that. Alternate interior on parallel lines are also congruent. You can see that they are. This would be x, yeah? I'm hoping you're starting to see how these relate. Visually, here we go again. Look, M is parallel to H. Find the values of Y and Z. Find what? The values of Y and Z. Okay? So look, this is 82. That means this is 82. Now, did they ask me to find that? No, I'm just writing everything I know. That's how I solve these problems. Okay? I also know that corresponding angles are congruent. So that's 82. That means these are vertical. That's 82 degrees. Okay. Maybe that helped, maybe it didn't. I don't know, but I did it anyway. Okay. So now I want to find y. Look, since I wrote 82 here, I can find y because this is a linear pair. This is also a linear pair. So either way, I can write y plus 82 equals 180. And so the answer is going to be y is equal to 98. Pretty sure that's right. 98 plus 82, 10, 1, 180. Yep. Okay, so y is equal to 98 degrees. All right, you can see that these two are congruent. So we're going to make an equation with them. 5z plus 77 equals 98. So we're going to add 77 to both sides. 5z equals 15,175. Divide by 5, and you get 35. Okay. I'm doing it faster than you guys probably do it with your calculator, and that's okay. It's just no worries. Okay. Z is equal to 35, and that's what they wanted. Okay. If you wanted to check it out, you could check it out. Like, is 5 times 35 minus 77, is that equal to 82 to 98 rather? It's supposed to be 98, right? 98. My bad. Is that equal to 98? This is the check. You could add 77 and you would get 5 times 35 is 135. Well, no, we on the check we can't add. What am I talking about? Add. Que pasa, Miss Baca? Okay, 5 times 35, okay, is what is 5 times 35? I'm just going to do it. I know what it is on this page, but I just want to be able to just pretend I don't. Okay, it's 175 minus 77. Is that equal to 98? 98 equals 98. Check. We know we did it right. All right. Next. The exit ticket, you guys, will probably be me giving you a couple parallel lines like this with a transversal and asking you to color in the congruent angles and name the pairs. Okay? So let's do the next one. All right, so here we go, you guys. Now we have a crazy figure. We have two parallel lines. M is parallel to N. This is how we would show it if they didn't tell us. And then we'd put 2 here. This marks these two as parallel, and this marks these two as parallel. Okay? Now, this is a harder one, you guys. And I know that a lot of you that struggle visually with having to work with this on the screen are going to have a little bit of trouble. What you need to do is kind of block out this chunk. Okay? So I don't know if I could do that really quick. Let me do a shape. Let me do a shape like a rectangle real quick. Okay, so what you want to do is take a look at anything that can give you any information that's interesting, okay, of knowledge, okay? So we could look at first, and I will erase this. Oh, that didn't go solid. Hang on. Let's focus in not on this one. Okay, hang on a second. I wanted a rectangle. I wanted it filled. Mm. Okay, I don't know. Let's see. Sorry, guys. I didn't. Okay, so what I wanted to show you is you want to sometimes focus on what the part that's going to give you information. Okay, I don't want any of that. Okay, so for example, let's not look at this piece. I'm actually going to scribble it and then erase it. Okay, don't look at that piece. Look at this piece. Do you guys see that this is congruent to that? Okay, that's great, except for look, that's got a z and that has a y. So even if I made an equation, y equals 4z minus 23, I can't solve it yet. I can't solve it yet because I have two variables. I can't solve it with two variables. So you're like, okay, what do I do now? Well, let's start filling in other stuff that you know, okay? We know that, well, actually, let's go back. Oh no, let me go erase. Let me go erase this. Okay, so now I want you to look at, instead, I want you to look at this set of parallel lines. Do you see it? This set, and then this is the transversal. Okay, so look, this is y, and this is 79. What do we know about these two angles? They are consecutive interior angles. Okay, and they add up to 180. Okay, I've said that in a couple slides and we've used it, so that's really important. So look, we can solve for y in this equation. So we get y is equal to, and we're going to do 180 minus 79, which is 101. Okay, so y equals 101. Well, if we know that y equals 101, we know a lot of things. Now, these two, let me go ahead and erase this. Now we're going to focus in on this part. Okay, so we're going to not pay attention to this piece now. We're going to focus in on these two. Take a look. Okay. This angle and this angle are congruent. Do you guys see it? Do you see how big this one is and how big this one is? Okay. They are congruent. So we can make an equation with them. Okay. Which we did. Okay. We already did right here, correct? Okay. So now if you're looking here, we have our y. So we can plug our y back up into here, right here. Okay. Oh my God, I got to get rid of this stupid highlighter. Come on. Okay. Here we, okay. So then we can plug in this and we can go, actually, I'll just do it over here. So 4z minus 23 equals, oh, wait. Oh, no, that's right. Equals 101. Okay, because y is 101. All I did was I changed the order here so that I could solve it. Add 23 to both sides and you get 4z equals 124. Divide by 4 and you get 31. Okay, that means z is 31. That's what they wanted, y and z. So we found y and we found z. Okay, really important to just know which angles are congruent. And you need to take notes for yourself for the test, for further work here, just so you know which angles are congruent. Okay, so one more. All right. It says establishing facts about the angles created when parallel lines are cut by a transversal. So now they're telling you got parallel lines. Okay. And, oh shoot, I forgot to copy the statements. Okay, so what we're looking at here, I'm just going to tell you what they're going to give you. So they give you that angle 1 is 75. Okay, What they're going to ask you is which angles are congruent, okay? So they might say it's a truth statement, which angle 1 and angle blank are alternate interior, okay? So you need to know that 1 and 3 are alternate interior. You also need to know that 3 would be 75 degrees, okay? What is the relationship called between 3 and 2? What are these guys? They are called corresponding because they're in the same position. So they're going to ask you about that. So in here, look, angle 1 and angle 2. What would we call angle 1 and 2, you guys? Vertical angles. So you need to know these names. And Alex will test you on that. And then hopefully your notes will be great on them, especially if you take them also from the notes in Alex. 1 and angle 3 are alternate interior. Do you see how they alternate angles? Okay, these won't go away. You guys, these will stay for the rest of the semester, so learn them. Angle 2, 2, and angle 3 are corresponding. Okay, corresponding angles. They expect you to know all these names. So if you need to make a separate sheet of like this, like, okay, and let's say you do 2 parallel lines cut by a transversal, and you need to go, okay, corresponding, and just do corresponding and then mark the angles, then do that. And then if you need to do alternate interior, do that. Okay, take notes so they make sense to you. All right, the next 3 ones are review on lines. I do expect that you would know them, so they're included here because they're supposed to be easy. This is basically a function notation. This is, again, just algebra lines, okay? What this is this is like y, okay? So this, instead of y, we're putting h of x. I hope you guys learned that in Algebra 1. I might ask you in class, we'll see. Okay, it says complete the function table. So your job is to plug in x right here. So here's how I would do that. We're going to go h of negative 5. Look, you guys, look at how that replaced. First, let me go ahead and write the equation, just so that you see what I'm doing. See how that's the equation? Notice, do you see how the x was replaced by the negative 5? That means we're plugging in negative 5 for x, and we want to know what spits out. This is like a function machine, okay? It's like a machine where you plug in the x and then it does something to the x and it spits out a y, okay? But we call it f of x. I'll talk more about that later. Okay, not in these notes. All right, so now you're going to plug in h of negative 5. So you go 4 times negative 5 minus 3. That's negative 20 minus 3, or negative 23. That's what they want you to put right there. Then you do the next one, h of 0. That's the next one. That means plug in a 0 for x. That's all it means. See, they plugged in a 0 for x. That's what you do. 4 times 0 is 0 minus 3. 0 minus 3 is negative 3. So h of 0 equals negative 3. Then you're going to plug in 1. H of 1. 4 times 1 minus 3 is equal to 4 minus 3, or 1. Boom. I hope you get the idea. Okay, if you want, you can pause and try 2 and 3. And then I'll do them. 4 times 2 minus 3, 8 minus 3, 5. H of 3. 4 times 3 minus 3, 12 minus 3, 9. Okay, and that's all you have to do. I'm not doing many examples because I kind of think you guys should know this one. And if you don't, I hope this helped. This might be an exit ticket as well. I might have 2. Okay, here we go. For each ordered pair, determine whether it's a solution to this. So now your job is to plug in this ordered pair and see if it works. Okay, think of this as like a check. So the first one, -3, 1. That means plug in -3 for x and 1 for y. So formula, first formula, then substitution. 5 times -3 minus 8 times 1 equals -29. And look at you guys, we are actually asking the question. If this point is the solution, we will get an answer. We are not moving things left to right. When you are checking for a solution, you are just checking it. So this is -15 minus 8. Does that equal -29? 8 plus 5 is 13. So that's a 3. Already we know it's not going to work. This -23 is not equal to 29. Therefore, that is not a solution. Okay, let's try the next one. Let's do this one. Okay, -9, -2. So -9, -2. This is your x, this is your y. We're trying to find out if this point is on this line or it's a solution. Okay, so look, 5 times -9 minus 8 times -2. Does that equal -29? Let's find out. -45 plus 16 equals -29. Is this 16? Okay, 45 minus 16, borrow the 15 minus 6 is 9, 29. It is. -29 equals -29. Boop, it checks. To get the idea, you're just plugging it in and checking the answer, okay? And if you are confused, do formula, substitution, resolution. It's the easiest way. So again, 5x minus 8y equals -29? Question mark. Does it? So 5 times 0 minus 8 times -4. Does that equal -29? 5 times 0 is 0. -8 times -4 is positive 32. So no, this is not equal to -29. Nope. Last one. I'm doing every single one just because in case some of you are not understanding it. I do not require that you have every single one in your notes, just so that you know what you're doing. What we're doing is we are checking to see if this point is on that line, if it's a solution to this, okay? Minus 8 times 5 equals -29. So 5 times 6 is 30. 8 times 5 is 40. Does that equal -29? And the answer is, of course, you can probably tell right now it's no, because that's -10. Does not equal -29. All right, so the answer is no. That's what you do. That's how you solve that one. I hope this is coming back to you. Now this one says find an ordered pair XY that is a solution. Okay, a solution to the equation. Because it doesn't matter. You just need to find a solution. So let's say I pick 1. 5 times 1 is 5. 5 minus some number is equal to 6. What would that be? 5 minus -1. Okay, no, I did that one in my head. Oh no, it's, wait, -5. Oh yeah, and then you get -y equals 1, so y equals -1. Now here's the thing. I actually think it's easier just to guess these, not guess them, how would I say it? Just figure them out. In other words, oh, by the way, that's 1, -1. What if I picked 2 for x? That would be 10. 5 times 2 minus y is equal to 6. 5 times 2 is 10. 10 minus some number equals 6. The answer to that would be 4. Okay, what if I picked 3? 5 times 3 minus y equals 6. 15 minus some number y is equal to 6. That would be 9. Do you get the idea? You just plug in numbers and figure it out. It's basically getting a number that works so that you get 6 equals 6. Yes? Okay. Um, Message me if you have any questions on this. This is a very quick line review. I don't want to spend tons of time, but at the same time, I want to give it some justice. So this is a little bit of review. Okay. The main thing you definitely need to do is get down these names of these angles, you guys. And you can do this easily by going online and doing like this, consecutive interior angles. Look, you see it? Boom. All right. And then what you do is if you wanted to find them, look, you can go to images and you'll get right here. They have it right here, D and F, consecutive interior. Here's one, C and F. Okay. C and F is consecutive and D and E. I drew those for you, but if you want something prettier, if you need to remember, okay, if you want to go to alternate interior, alternate, and look, it comes right up. Alternate interior, okay, right here. You wanted a one, okay, C and B. Well, actually, whatever, a whole bunch are coming up, but right here is a great definition right here, 1 and 2, alternate interior, okay? Get the idea? You can look them up. It's really important that you know the names. All right, that's it for this notes.